We have a physical body, which is really, really important. Okay? We all wouldn't be alive if we didn't have a physical body. But inside that physical body is fields or frequencies of energy. Okay? So we're also an energy body. And then in many traditions, we know that we're kind of like a spiritual body too. So we have like many, many different bodies, and they're all interacting. So that's why we can't just kind of focus on one body. We have to focus on all of them. Okay? So the spiritual body, Marty was talking about getting your intention, saying a prayer, visualizing what you intend for this treatment to be effective. Because you know that the effectiveness of any therapy is based on intention. Okay? We've known this for over 200 years. It's just that mainstream medicine has denied it. Okay? So there was back in the 1700s this guy called Emile Coué. He was a French doctor, and Emile was also a pharmacist, so he had this pharmacy. And so he had this idea. He was wondering, is it really the pharmaceutical agents that I'm giving to these people that are effective? And back then he was probably giving mostly herbs, right? So he was giving mild herbs. And so, but he wanted to do a study, so he did a study, and what he did was, when the patient came in to get the medicine, he would tell them all the wonderful things that would happen from taking this medicine. You're going to feel better, your sleep is going to be better, you're going to have a better digestive system, and he went through the whole thing. And so he would ask them to come back in 2 weeks, and then he would have them write down what they experienced. And guess what? People that he told, oh, you're going to feel better, they all got better. Then the other group of patients that he had is he told them, he really didn't tell them anything. He said, this is a medicine and that's for your condition, go home and take it. And then he had the third group, and in that group he said, this is the medicine that I'm going to give you, go home and take it, but you could have X, Y, and Z and all these side effects, right? So guess who got worse? The side effects groups, about 60% actually got worse and 40% got better. Okay? The ones that he just really didn't tell too much about, half got better. But 80 to 90% of all the ones that he told these wonderful things that would happen, they all got better. So that's what this spiritual body is about. This is about creating this intention in your mind. So however you do that, okay, if you say a prayer over it, or you just intend it, or you just think good thoughts, that's what is going to help. And particularly when you are working with frequencies, because these frequencies are contacting that electromagnetic body and to a certain extent that spiritual body. So that's why we have to use intention along with this. So then these frequencies, there are many, many different frequencies that you can use. And I could go through all the different frequencies and what they do, and there's thousands of them, and people have their own secret frequencies. But the ones that I want to talk about today are the Noge frequencies, which you probably talked about yesterday, right?
A little bit, not much though. Okay.
So Dr. Noge, he was a French neurologist, and he was an acupuncturist. And what he did was he actually studied pulses. And he noticed that certain frequencies of sound and of electromagnetic vibration would change the pulses in the body. And I am not a Chinese medical doctor. My partner, Dr. Chen, she is, so we can ask her a little bit more about this. My training is mostly in osteopathic medicine and something called Ayurvedic medicine, which is the medicine from India, which is how yoga is involved. And in Ayurvedic medicine, they talk about three different body types. Now, in American medicine, we also have, or at least osteopathic medicine, we also have this description of the three different body types. So I want to tell you a little bit about those. And then we'll talk a little bit more and have some questions. So the first body type, so basically in Ayurvedic medicine, they said that every person can be classified by one of these three types or a combination of the types. So usually one type is going to be predominant. So first of all, there's something called Vata. V-A-T-T, V as in Victor, A-T-T-A. Vata has to do with the air and the ether, or we would say spiritual energy. And people who are Vata, they talk really quickly, and they're going about really quickly, they're kind of like my partner here, and they're always energetic, and that's their personality. They eat really quickly. They have no set schedule of eating, okay, so they might eat at 8 o'clock or they might eat at 12 o'clock, and they may eat just a little bit or they may eat a lot, and it really doesn't matter. They tend to be very thin, they don't gain a lot of weight easily, and they tend to have disorders that have to do with the air or the wind element. Okay, and then there is the middle kind of group, okay, which is called Pitta. Pitta, P with P like Peter, I-T-T-A, Pitta. And Pitta is the fire person. Okay, they have a really strong personality. They have to have their food at a certain time, like 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. And if they don't have the food in, they're not going to be a happy person. Okay, they're very ordered. They like to have things done orderly. Okay. So when I was a young man, there was someone who took care of the buildings at our church, and he had to have the chairs stacked up in exactly the right way, and they had to be. Some of you know about this, right? And they had to be 4 and 6 and 8, and he could just go into the room and he would know if you didn't stack the chair properly. Okay? But, compared to all the other wards, our building was like the best kept building. There was never a speck of anything anywhere. It was like, immaculate. Okay? So if you want a really nice, clean building, you have to have someone who is a Pitta. And then there's the third type, which is Kapha. Kapha has to do with the earth element. So earth and water are the characteristics of Kapha.
Will you spell that?
It's K-A-P as in Peter, H-A, Kapha. So Kaphas, they are kind of, they tend to have a really big body build, okay? They don't really like to do a lot of physical exercise, although they may, if they're doing a lot of work. Kaphas really work hard. So lots of people who are into farming, will be Kaphas, because they have to lift things, and they will get things done, but they will get it done on their time, right? So that's a farmer, right? So a farmer, he'll get everything done. He just might not do it at this particular time. He does what needs to be done at a particular moment. They tend to suffer from more physical ailments. Now, where is that little sheet with the nose frequencies? So if you will look on your sheet, there's 3 sittings here, 3, 4, and 5.